do or die. Those are the stakes in a winner-take-all Game 3 between the Prowlers and the Thunderbirds. Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you at the Fairgrounds Arena in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, they say cats have 9 lives. The Prowlers earned themselves 2 lives with a victory on Friday at home in Game 1. But last night, Carolina took one of those lives with a victory themselves at home with their backs against the wall, and that sets up this decisive Game 3. The winner moves on to take on Columbus in the second round. The loser heads home. Well, much more for you on the pregame show coming up next. You're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network. Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. It is Game 3 between the Prowlers and the Carolina Thunderbirds. We are just minutes away, and we'll have it here for you on the PHP Network. The decisive and final game of this best-of-3 series. But first, before we get too deep into this game, let's take a look at last night's game, a 4-2 win for Carolina. Prowlers held leads of 1-0 and 2-1 in that game, but the Thunderbirds battled back. They outplayed the Prowlers significantly in the final 40 minutes, out shooting Port Huron 38-12 in the second and third periods combined. Josh Keplinger scored twice. Jacob Schnapp got the game-winning goal on a rebound in that second period, and Port Huron just couldn't recover. Chase McCardle did score his first pro goal, and Oscar Walgren made 49 saves in between the pipes, but it wasn't enough, and that is why we are here tonight for a decisive game number 3 as we look at the bracket for the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. Another night and another team through. The Binghamton Black Bears join the Columbus River Dragons in the semifinals as both top seeds, both division winners, sweep their first round matchups. There's another Game 3 going on tonight, and it's already in progress. The Motor City Rockers and the Danbury Hat-Tricks, as they have dropped the puck about an hour ago in Fraser, Michigan at Big Boy Arena. We will keep you up to date on the score of that game as our broadcast goes along. We mentioned Josh Keplinger last night. He had a couple of goals in a playoff series. Sometimes you need your top guys to be your top guys, and Keplinger, first line winger, he's been that guy. He was that guy last night. Scored a couple of big goals for Carolina, and he has 3 points. That is second on the Thunderbirds, only behind his line mate Gus Ford, who has 4 points in the series. For the Prowlers, their top line center has been their top guy. He has 2 goals in 2 games, does Connor Foley, and his line mate Liam Freeborn 2 assists in 2 games. But Foley opened the scoring last night. He also scored a goal on Friday night, and he has been a huge part of the Prowlers during this playoff run so far, as he hopes to lead his team to a victory here tonight and continue their season and finally take down the dreaded Carolina Thunderbirds, who have been a thorn in the Prowlers' side over these past few years. Well, the big question tonight, would Alex Johnson dress? And indeed he will, after being knocked out of the game in the first period. He laid on the ice motionless for a few minutes and then was helped off by the training staff and the team doctors from the Carolina Thunderbirds. Johnson in the lineup tonight. Adam Heinzel is out. Heinzel did take warm-ups, and from what I was told, that was in case Johnson would not be ready to go, but Johnson is set to go. But Tristan Sim draws back in for his playoff debut. And that is the only real change for the Prowlers as far as guys going in and out of the lineup. But within the lineup, plenty of line juggling here as Liam Freeborn and Austin Federley are reunited on that top line. Tucker Scantleberry slides down to play with Jeremy Rancourt and Dalton Jay, while the line of Vinny DeCumbis, Evan Foley, and Dan Chartrand stays the same. And again, Sim in there as the extra forward, and we'll see what kind of impact he makes here in this game. Again, his Commissioner's Cup playoff debut for the rookie out of Chatham University, who had 14 goals and 22 points in 51 games this season. On the back end, again, a little bit of shuffling as Brett Lockhart slides up to play with Johnson, and his typical defense partner, Chase McCardle, will play with Brian Parsons. Here this evening, Frank Schumacher and Dominic Lubert stay together in that second pairing, while Makar Sokolov is back between the pipes after getting the victory in Game 1 on Friday night. And Sokolov, this season, he did that once. He played a Friday and then a Sunday. And unfortunately for the Prowlers, he did lose that Sunday game. That was the 3-3 against Watertown back in January. He stopped 27 of 28 in the Friday game, got the win, but then gave up 5 goals in the Sunday game on 29 shots and took the loss. Prowlers hoping that doesn't continue. Of course, it's not exactly a trend. It's only been one time for Makar Sokolov, but we'll see if he can lock in here tonight and put up another big performance for the Prowlers. The Prowlers netminders so far in this playoff, Sokolov and Walgren, combined about a .925 save percentage. So they have been sharp, but there's been some good goaltending on the other side as well. Prowlers hitting the ice right now. We're awaiting the Carolina Thunderbirds to join them out there. And as we wait, we will give you the Orthopedic Associates starting lineup for your report here on Prowlers. It's going to be that Evan Foley line, the captain, leading his group out there along with Vinny DeCumbis and Dan Chartrand up front. On the back end, Frank Schumacher and Dom Lubert will be the first defense unit on the ice. And once again, it is Makar Sokolov in between the pipes for the Prowlers this evening. As the Thunderbirds hitting the ice now, and we'll find out momentarily who their starters will be, as I expect Cody Karpinski to be back between the pipes for Carolina. And if that is the case, this should be a great goaltending duel. The two goaltenders with victories in this playoff series so far, as they are announcing the starters for Carolina. Gus Ford, Dawson Baker, and Josh Kepling in the top line for the Thunderbirds will start tonight up front, again against Evan Foley's line with Vinny DeCumbis and Dan Chartrand. Looks like on the back end for Carolina, they are going with Clay Keeley and Tucker Firth to begin this one, and then they're announcing tonight's starting goaltender now, and it is Cody Karpinski, who will start tonight for the Carolina Thunderbirds in between the pipes. We'll get you the goaltending matchup officially in just a few moments, but first, we pause for tonight's national anthem. And that is tonight's national anthem from Winston-Salem. We're moments away from puck drop. Let's get you tonight's starting goaltending matchup. The two guys who have gotten a victory for their team in this series, Makar Sokolov and Cody Karpinski. Between the pipes, each of them gave up 2 goals in their wins. Sokolov with a .926 save percentage, Karpinski a .909, but one of them will get their first loss and only loss of the playoffs here tonight. This is it. This entire season comes down to this for one team. The only thing that's promised from here for both sides is the next 60 minutes. Anything beyond that, they'll have to fight for. Evan Foley and Gus Ford will take the draw in a decisive Game 3 in Winston-Salem. We're underway. Thunderbirds get the first touch. It's Tucker Firth with a headman feed deflected in by Dawson Baker. Ford first on it below the goal line. Lubert takes it away, and Don Lubert starts it up ice. Here's Vinny DeCumbis. Dumped right in on Karpinski. He steers it behind the net. DeCumbis and Firth get there together. Now Schumacher from the outside. Kick saved by Karpinski. Out in front, it bounces around. DeCumbis couldn't get control to get a shot off. Schumacher put it back down deep. Evan Foley was knocked down. And the lead pass out of everyone's reach. And a quick icing against the Thunderbirds. Just 43 seconds in. I'll have a face-off deep in Thunderbirds territory. The Carolina fans jeering at Alex Johnson, who left last night's game after a scary-looking hit in front of the net. He was involved in a scrum and ended up going down to the ice, didn't move for a few minutes, and did not return to the game. He's back, and he has the puck now at center. Goes D to his partner, Brett Lockhart. Austin Federley tried to float it through towards Freeborn, too far in front. Freeborn centering feed, and Connor Foley just swung and missed. Out comes Salak with the check line on for Carolina. Fired across by Panacek. Pastuca settles it down, and Connor Foley with a steal, but he gave it right back to Yuri Pastuca. Salak will send the cross-corner dump in. Johnson first on it, and Johnson rims it around. Got through Freeborn. Here's Farmer with a wrister, blocked down by the glove of Brett Lockhart. Comes back to Lockhart. Out to Austin Federley. He gets the red line, gets it deep. Prowlers and Thunderbirds both making full changes. And James Farmer back behind his own cage. Nearly 2 minutes gone in the decisive Game 3. Nate Keeley behind the Prowler net, turning on Parsons, trying to work his way out in front. Scantleberry comes in to lift his stick, and he sends Dalton Jay out. Jay lost the handle. So did Nate Keeley. 2 Thunderbirds run into each other. Now Scantleberry plays it off the boards, tried to get back himself. It's batted out to center. McCardle lost it to Kramer. Centering feed, Schnapp. But he tried a toe drag. That was read perfectly by Brian Parsons. Scantleberry 1-on-2. He'll dump it around and get a change. Gus Ford, FPHL Forward of the Year, plays it over to Gordon Whalen, the only developmental player collegiate signing for the Carolina Thunderbirds this season. He dumped it around. Prowlers look to work it out. DeCumbis comes off the near side wall. Chartrand scoops it up into offensive territory. Backhander went all the way through the crease. Schumacher down low. DeCumbis tried to feed it out high. It was cut off by Keplinger. He and Ford come out together. Ford couldn't slip through Schumacher, who put the body into him. Dom Lubert up to DeCumbis. Lubert jumping in on the rush. DeCumbis dumped it in. Lubert burst after it. He and Karpinski got there together. Karpinski able to move it along. Keplinger's pass, couldn't find a teammate. Baker and Connor Foley get there together. Connor Foley moved it around. Touched on for Austin Federley. Now Connor Foley with a steal in the offensive zone. Couldn't get that one to go. As Connor Foley found that loose puck and got an attempt towards the net. Pastuca sent it all the way across. Johnson cut it off there, and he's upended as he clears the puck. 4 minutes gone in game number 3. Sokolov loves this one for a whistle and a face-off. It's the first shot on net of the game for the Carolina Thunderbirds. Prowlers have 3. Early stages of this one. Again, if you're just joining us, winner take all game 3. Loser goes home. And by all, the all in winner take all is a date with the league leading Columbus River Dragons, who swept aside the Mississippi Seawolves with ease. McCardle taken out. He's still able to work the puck up. Scantleberry chips it in, heads after it, kept Kennedy from getting a clear. And now it's Panacek. He lofts it out. Parsons after it. He'll get there ahead of Pastuca, but his clearing attempt hit the linesman, and then Salak and Rancourt ran into the linesman. The pass to Jay eludes him, and it goes all the way down for an icing against the Prowlers. Tonight's referees are Ron Johnson and Brian Cole. The linesmen, Drew Wilkelis and Lucas Rager. An icing either way already. Ford and Rancourt in on this faceoff. Rancourt wins it back. Parsons escaped, but Ford came in for the puck, and now they lock up. Keplinger pulls it out of the pile. Turnaround shot, gloved and held by Makar Sokolov. Sokolov was brilliant in game 1. Back at McMorran Place. 25 saves on 27 shots, including some big ones late in the game when the Thunderbirds had pulled Mario Cavalieri for an extra attacker. There's Farmer walking down the wall, floats it behind the net, and now it's Lockhart. Bounced off the wall, Chartrand dumped in on Karpinski, who had himself a good game 2 last night. 20 saves on 22 shots. And Karpinski let that one go through. Farmer took a bump. Baker wrestled Evan Foley to the ice. Foley's down, no arms in the air, and they're going to blow it dead. That was away from the puck. Evan Foley being tended to. Will take a break. Already getting testy early here in Winston-Salem. You're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
Early stages of the opening period. Back here in Winston-Salem, still no score. Prowlers captain Evan Foley heading off the ice after being upended by Dawson Baker away from the play. Certainly looked like one that could have been a penalty, but Referees have called it tight, or called it loosely, pardon me. They've let the teams play throughout most of this series, and that continued there. Again, but Foley to the Prowlers locker room. There's a shot through, kick save by Sokolov, rebound. Cleared out by the Prowlers. Here comes Jay. Has Rancourt with him. He dumps it in and sends Rancourt after it. Back to Jay, centering feed, knocked away by a stick. Parsons settles down. He and Rancourt played catch, but Parsons couldn't keep it in on the blue line. Jay touched it back in. Clay Keeley. Reverse for Whalen. Now Kramer back around the net. Scantlebury and Keeley come together. Keeley played it back over in Kramer's direction, who gives it right back. Prowlers making a change. Clay Keeley waits for his team to complete a change as well. And now he'll step out. He gets the red line, dumps it around. Comes all the way through, back to Clay Keeley at the other point. As the centering feed for Salak, had his stick tied up by Connor Foley, who finds the puck in his skates and sends Federley out. Freeborn couldn't dangle around Firth. Panachek back in. Turning on Lubert, centered towards the front of the net. And Pastuca couldn't get a stick on it, it was knocked away. Salak. Taken in by Connor Foley, trying to pull out. Now two Prowlers go after big Jan Salak in the corner. They still dig away. Finally, Lubert able to pull it out of the pile. Freeborn chips it by. Odd man rush developing for the Prowlers. Freeborn has Fairley going towards the net, and he's tripped up. The arm is up in the air for a penalty. And they will call it as Firth gets the touch up, and the first power play of Game 3 goes to the Port Huron Prowlers. Justin Bioni to the penalty box. 12:21 to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Prowlers power play 0 for 3 in the series. And all three of those man advantages came last night. They didn't get a power play in their Game 1 win. But the man advantage has been ice cold for Port Huron. Only one power play goal over the final 8 regular season games, and of course none in 2 playoff games so far. Alex Johnson back with his regular unit. And off this face-off, he takes it. Down to Dalton Jay. Connor Foley goes below the goal line. Scantlebury back to Jay. Johnson at the top. Over to Freeborn. Johnson again. Now Scantlebury. The Prowlers work it around. Jay to the nets, and it pinballed through off a Thunderbird, and it's cleared by Keplinger. Carolina gets fresh killers on the ice. And the quick up slips through Jay's stick. Firth wastes as much time as he can before firing it all the way back down to Sokolov. Scantlebury over the blue line, rimmed around. Firth met there by Freeborn. That puck slips back out to center. No shots on net for the Prowlers yet during this power play. It has 59 seconds left on it. And another clear by Carolina. Next unit coming on for Port Huron. Austin Federley hangs out behind his own net, waits for the change to be completed. Right wing side, it's Lubert. Gets in and dumps it around. Delayed offside on the Prowlers as Carolina dumps it all the way down. Sokolov plays it away from Keplinger. But out to center, the Birds still have it, trying to kill off some more time. Nothing doing on this power play for the Prowlers. 13 seconds left as Rancourt Tried to dance his way in. Puck hops around. Comes to Lubert at the point. Back towards the net. Tristan Sim around to Rancourt. Out to Sim again. Rancourt to the net. Gloved and held by Cody Karpinski. The Prowlers get no shots on that man advantage. And the Thunderbirds fans loving the penalty kill effort from their team. But good news for the Prowlers. Evan Foley returning from the locker room. And he's back on the Prowler bench, along with one of the Thunderbirds trainers. So good news there for Port Huron. It's Connor Foley out to take this face-off in Evan Foley's typical center position, along with Dan Chartrand and Vinny DeCumbis. Schumacher, a shot. Save made by Karpinski. There was a rebound. It's taken away by the Birds. Butita dumps it around. Schnapp sidesteps a hit, goes back after the puck. He had the game-winning goal in last night's game. Spun to the ice by McCardle. A penalty coming up against Chase McCardle as the wrister through traffic deflects over top of the net. Then Schumacher runs Nate Keeley into the boards. They blow it down. And a Carolina power play coming when we return. Prowlers 0 for 1 on the man advantage, and the Thunderbirds get their first opportunity. You're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network. .37 to go in period one. Chase McCardle, 2 minutes for tripping. And the Birds to their first power play. Let's take a look at the franchise records in winner-take-all games. Prowlers are 1-0. That came all the way back in the 2016 season against Steve Harrison's Danville Dashers. Harrison, of course, now the head coach of the Thunderbirds. Carolina is 1-1, and both of those games took place last season. They beat the Columbus River Dragons in a winner-take-all Game 3 in this building, but then lost in overtime to the Danbury Hat-Tricks in a winner-take-all Game 5 in Danbury in the Commissioner's Cup Final. Josh Keplinger rims this one around to Gus Ford as the Thunderbirds power play sets up. Pastuca over to Ford, met there by Johnson. And then Keplinger back up to Ford. Pastuca, wrister blocked by Chartrand. Sent back up the wall. Ford has got it deep, and then he's crunched by Johnson. Johnson finds the puck, and he fires it all the way down, or he takes a hit from Salak. Lubert gives Salak a shove. Meanwhile, puck comes all the way back down, and icing called against the Thunderbirds. And the fans giving it to Chase McCardle in the Prowlers penalty box. Seems to be a 6-second disparity between the clock here in the arena and my clock. I thought I had the right time, but maybe they have to change things. They've actually added time. So now 8:50 to go in period one. As Keplinger forced back. Pestuka dances his way in. Took a hit there from Lockhart. Schumacher plays it through, and he's able to dump it all the way down. 50 seconds left on the penalty to McCardle. Prowlers making changes, so are the Thunderbirds. Clay Keeley with some speed. Tried to dangle Lubert, that's not going to work, as Dom Lubert sends it all the way back down. Clay Keeley steps out. Keeley works his way in, tried to get past Johnson, lost the puck in his skates. Johnson takes it, and another clear for the Prowlers. Final 10 seconds ticking off of McCardle's penalty. One last rush led by Kramer. Kramer has it in the corner, gave it out high, the one-timer blocked, and the Prowlers kill it off. So no shots on goal for either power play in its first opportunity. Here's Federley. Swung and missed though as he fanned trying to get that puck back deep. Connor Foley able to get it down behind the net. And here's Farmer there first on it. Foley took it from him. Centering feed, Freeborn couldn't pull the trigger. Back to Foley. And Parsons rims it all the way around. Scantleberry. Float it back to this side. Farmer first there. And then Butita gave it out to Jacob Schnapp. Tried to dangle around Alex Johnson. Scantleberry played the body, and Johnson has the puck now. Saucer pass on for Dalton J. He gets in, couldn't get to the forehand. He gets it deep as Kennedy works around for Farmer. Up to Keplinger. Has a man breaking, it's Baker. Got it in that direction, but he and Lubert were tangled up. Meanwhile, was a delayed offsides anyway against Carolina, and that's what the whistle's for. And Baker is having some words with Dom Lubert. This faceoff being signaled to come all the way down in Thunderbirds territory. Gus Ford seems to be unsure of why. But Evan Foley back out there to take this faceoff against Ford. 6.5 left in period one. Actually, he'll take it against Keplinger. And it comes to the boards. Kennedy around towards Farmer. Baker launches a home run pass that's blocked by McCardle. Dumped around, Lubert first on behind the net. Out to Chartrand. Farmer steps up on him and keeps the puck alive. Ford lost the handle. Lubert up to Chartrand again. This time able to get it through Farmer, and DeCumbis skates into it. His shot stopped by Karpinski, juggled it, and sent it behind the net. Now Evan Foley to the net, and it's held onto by Karpinski as Foley got a little bit of a chance there. All he could do is just put it on with the backhand. And Karpinski with the save, he clamps the glove on top. Shots on goal favoring the Prowlers right now, 7-4. But the netminders have done their job. No goals yet in this decisive game 3. Top line coming out for the Prowlers. And they'll take the face-off against the Czech line. Connor Foley and Peter Panacek. And Foley won it forward. Couldn't pick it up on the other side. Now he does. Centering feed. It was in the crease. And it's rescued by Clay Keeley. Dumped right in. Johnson not there ahead of Keeley. Now Freeborn trying to pick it up off the wall. Gave it away. Panacek to the line. It's Keeley. Over to Pestuka. The Birds widen things out. Keeley back to Bioni. The drive goes wide. And off the back wall, it's Panacek who had it knocked away. able to keep it in the zone. Salak walking the blue line, floats it over towards Panacek. Lockhart, chip off the boards. Salak and Connor Foley dig away, and now it comes back low where Lockhart takes it. Carolina in the midst of a change. Prowlers look to work it out. Freeborn will skate it, but he lost it, and here comes Salak back the other way. Salak centering feed behind everybody. Freeborn just chips it around. Tucker Firth. Here's Connor Foley, has Scantleberry in front. Foley all the way around the net, centering in front. He couldn't find a friendly stick. Now Dalton Jay with a steal. Jay tried a back pass, but nobody home at the point. McCardle onto Rancourt. Makes a move around Firth. He shoots and he's stopped by Karpinski. No, it's poked in, but they wave it off. And the Prowlers are incensed. I think the puck slipped through Karpinski and was laying there in the crease. The near side corner referee couldn't see it, and now we have a controversy. It was poked in by the Prowlers. They'll talk about it. We'll take a timeout. We've already had one good goal taken off the board. Could we have a no goal put back on it? We're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed, until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious. Hungry?
Howie's! 4.5 to go in period 1. We take you back to game 1. If I had the highlight, I'd show you. But Gus Ford knocked down a puck with a high stick, put it in. They called it a goal on the ice. After a long discussion, it was brought back and taken off the board. Prowlers scored less than a minute later. This time, the goal was waved off immediately, and it doesn't seem like they'll be putting it on the board despite the protests from the Prowlers bench. Again, I think that original shot from Freeborn got through Karpinski's arm and sat in the crease before it was poked home, but the referee who blew it dead was sitting in the near side, or standing in the near side corner, so he couldn't see past Karpinski. He had the quick whistle, and before the Prowlers poked that puck in, he blew it dead, and that's a tough one for Port Huron. A tough break as we stay scoreless. But they do continue to talk about it. The puck is sitting at center ice. So maybe now I'm not so sure if this is a cut and dry no goal. No signal from either referee. I doubt we'll ever get a signal. We'll just see where they put the puck, and they will put the puck deep in Thunderbirds territory. So we stay scoreless here in game number 3. Connor Foley's line out there. He'll take the draw against Nate Keeley. Keeley won it back. Farmer first on the puck, met by Freeborn. Freeborn in the corner, cycles it to Connor Foley. And it pops out to Butita. Has Schnapp breaking, gives it to him. Now a handoff for Nate Keeley into offensive territory. The long-range shot off the blocker of Makar Sokolov. Federle gets it to Lubert. Dom Lubert steps in, plays it off the back glass. Freeborn put it back into the corner for Connor Foley. Out in front, poked away by Karpinski with the paddle. Right to Schnapp. He's harassed by DeCumbus. And it's dumped out by the Birds. Nate Keeley grabs possession and moves it down towards Butita. Ian Lockhart turning in the corner. Butita out high to Farmer. The wrister off of Sokolov's glove and behind the net. Scooped up by Ford fresh off the bench. Butita out high to Farmer. Lost the handle. Freeborn couldn't get much on the clearing attempt. And the Birds still on the attack. And then Lockhart picks Baker's pocket. Sent through for Connor Foley. He just slaps it right on net. Karpinski watched it go wide. And off the carom, Carolina able to clear back to center. Johnson retreats into his own end. 3 to go in period 1. Comes right in on Karpinski. And he'll cover up for a whistle and a face-off. And it looks like they will keep Carolina from changing. Referee Ron Johnson over there, believed to drag Farmer back on the ice. It was Clay Keeley who came out off the bench. And looks like they will let the Thunderbirds make a change. Face off to Karpinski's right. And it's one back by the Birds. Here's Bioni up to Keplinger. Rencourt dumps that one in. Bioni and Scantleberry cancel out. Here's Ford. Reversing it back to Clay Keeley. Quick up to Keplinger. Back to Bioni. Keplinger again. That's the red line. Rims it around. Johnson and Ford coming together in the corner. Johnson left it behind. Baker tried a centering feed, but he swung and missed at it. And Keplinger stretches out to Bioni. Clay Keeley walks in, and he shot it wide. Johnson off the boards and around. McCardle out towards Scantleberry. 3-on-3, and Scantleberry dumps it. Prowlers off for a change. Keeley had trouble with it. Now he'll get it back to Pastuca, and Firth hangs out behind his own net, waits for his team to get some fresh bodies on the ice. Firth steps out, gives it on towards Kennedy off his stick, and Pastuca gloves it down at center. Firth looking for a pass, still hanging on, and now he decides to skate it. Got the red line and got it around. Schumacher moved it along. Schumacher again, this time he'll try the near side. Sent out to Connor Foley, hit the linesman, and Austin Federle deflects the puck in. Still waiting for our first goal, 70 seconds left. In period 1, it's Kennedy. Winding and firing off the back wall. Kennedy slipped it right through the crease as he was pushed back on that puck. Evan Foley lofts it out. Baker trying to track it down. It will instead come to Karpinski, who covers up for a whistle and a face-off with 50.3 seconds up on the clock here at Fairgrounds Arena. Prowlers send out their top line, and the deep pairing of Alex Johnson and Dom Lubert. Mixing things up on the back end are the Prowlers for this face-off, and that one launched straight out of play. Prowlers want a delay of game penalty. It looks like they'll get it. Tucker Firth slowly making his way to the penalty box, and the second quality Computer Solutions power play for the Prowlers. Gets set to go in the final minute of period 1. And there are some boos raining down from the crowd here at the Annex, but not too much to boo there. That's a pretty cut and dry penalty. The Prowlers 0 for 1, no shots on their first man advantage. They'll try again. They don't have much time to work with. Evan Foley in the corner. Down to Connor Foley. Has some space, gives it out high to Freeborn. Walks over to Johnson Rister off a stick. And Kennedy takes the puck. Scantleberry takes it from him. Connor Foley tried to center. Puck slips around towards Ford. But his clearing attempt knocked down neatly by Evan Foley. 13 to go in the period. Scantleberry out towards Johnson. Sent it back down all the way around. Connor Foley centering feed. Evan Foley locked up by Ford. And the puck slips out to center. And we are scoreless through 20 minutes in the winner-take-all Game 3 between the Prowlers and the Thunderbirds. Shots on goal in that opening frame, favoring the Prowlers 9-5. But both netminders did their jobs and stopped every puck that came their way. And the Prowlers and Thunderbirds will head to the locker rooms, still looking for the back of the net. Well, coming up in our first intermission report, in case you missed it last night, we'll take another look back at the top plays from the 2023-24 regular season. We'll also look at the one out-of-town score, the other Game 3 going on in the FPHL today. That is the Motor City Rockers and the Danbury Hat-Tricks, which dropped the puck about an hour before we did. So there will certainly be some goals, and they will be getting down to it up in Fraser, Michigan, about 45 minutes down the road from Port Huron. So we'll check in on that game, much more. It's all coming up on the first intermission report right here on the PHP Network. The Prowlers and Thunderbirds have to talk it out, and we'll see who can find some offense first. Well, the playoffs are here, so get some new Prowlers gear to cheer them to a championship. The Prowlers team store features lace-up sweatshirts, team issue apparel, and more. Plus playoff merch, including pucks and shirts, is available now. Come find us on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. And you can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your po-ho best with gear from the Prowlers team store. 20 minutes down, at least 40 minutes to go. Who will find the first goal? We'll have to wait to find out in just a little bit. But when we come back, we'll take another look at the top plays from the 2023-24 season, and we'll do it next right here on the PHP Network.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo, a delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Puck will die short of the icing line, so Gingrich forced to play it. Had his pocket pick, Chartrand to the backhand, he tucks it in! What a play by Dan Chartrand, picking Gingrich's pocket and then tucking it home around Rosenzweig, and the Prowlers have a 1-0 lead. Federle over the red line. Over the rocker blue, doing it all himself, he scores! Austin Federle end-to-end power play goal ties this one up. Austin Federle just kept skating and had some more room, and he kept skating again. What a goal. And Federle wins it back clean. Jones to Johnson, jumping in deep and just hopped over his stick. Scantleberry winds down low, one more, score! Another beautiful feed from Austin Federle. This time it's Liam Freeborn on the receiving end. Power play goal puts the Prowlers up 3-2. Win back towards the cage, bounces out to the other side. Colton to the middle, Giuliano backhander. That one wouldn't go, what a save by Wallace! Giuliano made a move to the backhand, trying to get Wallace to slide all the way through. He put a shot on, but Ian Wallace reached out the glove. What a stop. Austin Weber turned it over. Now Picard sends Liam Freeborn on his way. Freeborn gets to the forehand. He scores! What an individual effort from Liam Freeborn. 1-on-1, and he wins the battle and puts the Prowlers up 1-0. But the two guys who lead the team in shorthanded goals, and here comes Barr, 2-on-0 with Lynn. Barr to Lynn. What a save by Sokolov, sliding across. He has it, and he'll hang on for a whistle, robbing the 2-on-0 as Connor Lynn was looking for it on the back post. Freeborn takes it back. Nice move. Still has the puck and he scores! What a goal by Liam Freeborn. Dipsy doodle through the defense, and he has the Prowlers on the board. Svintsev
into offensive territory. Makes a move to the backhand, cuts to the net, saved by Wallace. The rebound. What a stop by Ian Wallace on Brad Ryder. Pushing back to his right. He has a goal tonight. Can he put the Prowlers ahead in the shootout? Coming straight in on Bernard to the backhand. Oh, what a play! The Forsberg from Connor Foley. And the Prowlers strike first in the shootout. Are not Staples Rogers to the glass. Blink tried to work it out. Freeborn makes a nice move, gets it across Federley. Forehand, score! Second of the game for Austin Federley. What a move! And the Prowlers take the lead. Nice move by Liam Freeborn to get the puck and get in a position to even make a pass across. Then Austin Federley with all kinds of time. Forehand, backhand, forehand, and he tucks it around Eli Bowers.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Back here in Winston-Salem. First intermission wrapping up. Prowlers and Thunderbirds still searching for the first goal of the game. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us for this decisive Game 3 of the Commissioner Cup Playoffs Quarterfinals. And before we get too much further into that opening period, let's take a look at the one other Game 3 going on around the league today. It is the Motor City Rockers with a 3-0 lead on the Danbury Hat-Tricks through two periods. Danbury won last night against Motor City in Fraser at Big Boy Arena to force this Game 3. But the Rockers have bounced back, and in front of the home crowd, they have a 3-0 lead. They've scored 3 goals 3 different ways: a power play goal, a shorthanded goal, and an even strength marker. Scott Kowash has 2 of them, and Mike Wynn the other. Trevor Babin has made 17 saves in between the pipes for the Rockers so far, and they could be 20 minutes away from a date with the Binghamton Black Bears in the Empire Division Finals or the Cup semifinals, whatever you want to call it, as Binghamton awaiting the winner of this series. We take a look now back at our game. No score. Shots are 9-5, a low shot period, but plenty of physicality as we expected. Hits all over the ice. Players finishing their checks in the corners throughout this game, and each team 0 for 1 on the power play. Prowlers do still have 1 minute and 15 seconds left on their second power play of the night. But it's been relatively low event in the penalty column as well. It's been a good one. This is playoff hockey right here. Low scoring, tight defense, tight checking. And get a huge factor for the Prowlers. Alex Johnson being back in the lineup. Of course, he was knocked out of the game during the opening period of last night's contest. And at that point, the Prowlers were up 1-0, and Thunderbirds ended up winning that game 4-2. And certainly Johnson would have helped if he was able to stay in. But again, knocked out of that game. Back for this one. And we'll see if he can find a goal and get his team on the board. He has 4 career playoff goals in 13 career playoff games, but no points yet in 2 games in this postseason. Before we drop the puck here on period number 2, we're waiting for both teams to exit their locker rooms. Take a look at tonight's PHP Network trivia question. I did give the answer to this earlier on in the broadcast already, so if you were paying attention, you'd know the answer. Tonight's a winner-take-all, Game 3. We want to know what the result of the Prowlers' only other winner-take-all game in franchise history was. Bonus points if you can get the score and the opponent. We're asking for the result, how the Prowlers did. Again, this is their second winner-take-all game in franchise history. Thunderbirds played 2 in last year's playoffs, and they went 1-1, losing in a winner-take-all Game 5 in Danbury in the Commissioner's Cup final. That one was an overtime loss on Michael Marcheson's Cup-winning goal. As you see, Chris Paulin being wheeled across the ice here. He's a fan favorite here in Winston-Salem still. Plenty of Paulin jerseys littering these stands after his couple of years as a goaltender. He led the FPHL in wins during the 2021-22 season as a member of the Thunderbirds, but unfortunately for him, ended that season with injury, and he's only made a handful of starts since, and a number of surgeries as he's trying to work his way back to playing. He did make a start for the Prowlers last season and did pick up a victory over the Motor City Rockers, but he does lots of hard work behind the bench and in the office throughout the week as an assistant coach for the Prowlers. There are also some Prowlers jerseys in the stands, not just some family, which we do know is here. Brett Lockhart's family and Connor Foley's family are in the building. There are some fans who did make the trek down from Port Huron to Winston-Salem for this weekend's games. They were disappointed last night, hoping to cheer their team to a victory and see some history. Prowlers have not won a playoff series in 6 years. That's dating back to the 2018 Commissioner's Cup playoffs. They made it to the final of that one, but ended up falling to the Watertown Wolves in a best-of-5. That was also the last time that the Prowlers won a playoff game, and they won Game 1 of that series before again falling in 4. Until Friday night, when the Prowlers broke that 6-year drought. They'll try to break the other 6-year drought if they can pull out the victory here tonight. As Makar Sokolov in the goal crease to our right. He made 5 saves on 5 Carolina shots in the opening 20. Cody Karpinski in the goal crease to our left. 9 saves on 9 Prowlers shots in period 1. Prowlers have also never won a quarterfinals series in the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. In 2018, there were only 4 teams made the playoffs in the FPHL, so they had only won semifinals, and they won the final, of course, back in 2016. So trying to win their first quarterfinals series in franchise history. Prowlers man advantage for 1 minute and 15 seconds to start the Hungry Howie's second period. Top unit out there for Port Huron as Connor Foley and Gus Ford get set to draw. This as soon as we drop the puck, and now we do. We're underway in period 2. Alex Johnson with the dump in. Keplinger swung and missed at it, and now Connor Foley trying to set things up. Rimmed it up the wall. Freeborn steps in to keep it away from Ford. Austin Federley on this unit now instead of Evan Foley. Captain is on the Prowlers bench. As Scantleberry gives it down to Connor Foley. Back behind the net, Federley. Connor Foley again. Back down to Federley. 38 to go on the power play. Neither team with a shot on any of their power plays so far as Johnson unloads a one-timer. That was blocked partially on the way through. They dig away on the half while Scantleberry pulls it out. Tried a centering feed. It was blocked by a sliding Thunderbird. Still loose and poked behind the net. And then the puck slips under the Zamboni door. We saw it twice last night. That Zamboni door over on the end to our left sometimes eats pucks. It happened twice last night, and we see it there again. That one just slid right out. 15 seconds left on the Prowlers man advantage. They keep that same unit out there as Clay Keeley tried to work it up the wall. Couldn't do it. Scantleberry trying to muscle off Farmer. Federley out high to Johnson. Walks the line. Back to Federley. Down to Scantleberry. Connor Foley. Scantleberry again. So back to 5-on-5. Centering feed. Federley on the backhand. Couldn't get it all the way through to Karpinski. And Scantleberry's shot hit his own man Freeborn. Connor Foley scoops it up first. Firth just chops it out. Loubert first on it. And gives it over to Brett Lockhart. So both teams now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. We stay scoreless. Evan Foley collects on the far side boards. Rimmed it back around, but Prowlers in the midst of a change, so Kramer gets an exit. Lockhart got it out. Evan Foley recovers. Now Loubert. Up towards Chartrand, he tips it in. Over in the corner, Farmer and DeCumbus get there together. They dig away, pops out. Clay Keeley had his pass picked off by Loubert. Works back in, hit to the net, and that one didn't get through. Chartrand back on goal. He hit Farmer up high with that shot, and that one goes off the boards, out of play, and fans go ducking for cover as it lands just beyond the penalty boxes. Faceoff will stay deep in Thunderbirds territory. Prowlers get credit for 2 shots on net during that power play, but unable to find the back of it. Tristan Sim, the extra forward tonight for the Prowlers, taking this faceoff against Peter Panacek. Panachek won it back clean. Joe Kennedy steps out. He's watched by Rencourt. And now Kennedy with a dump right in on Sokolov, who will glove it down and freeze play for another faceoff. And the first chance for Carolina to set up an attack. Prowlers put the top line right back out there after they played most of the rest of the power play. Connor Foley will take this draw against Panachek. Tied up, and it comes around to Lubert. On to Federley. Up towards Liam Freeborn. Tried to send Connor Foley in. Now Freeborn with a little drag move. Able to dump it around. Pastuca and Connor Foley battling for position. Pastuca looking for a head man feed. He slides it to Salak, who chips it by Lubert and heads after it. Salak trying to cycle. Pastuca and Connor Foley locked up. Now the Prowlers spring a rush. Freeborn has Johnson hustling to join him. Freeborn shoots and he just missed it wide. Karam comes all the way around towards Salak, met by Connor Foley. Panachek had his stick lifted, and now Freeborn back at center, pops it out to Federley. Prowlers have numbers as Federley tried a drop pass. That didn't work. Connor Foley recovers the puck, and it's Parsons. Rister blocked by Salak. Foley up the wall. Lockhart to the net. Sticked away by Karpinski. There's a battle for the puck. Comes back out to Lockhart. Rister punched away by Cody Karpinski. Batted into Prowler territory by Pastuca. Left there for Lockhart. And the quick up to DeCumbus. His pass off of Farmer. Chartrand bats it deep. Firth up the wall towards Keplinger. Sauced out to Baker. Has Ford with him. 3 Prowlers back. Baker to the trailer Farmer. To the net. Stopped by Sokolov with Ford looking for the tip right in front. Already a better period, second period for the Prowlers than they had last night. They got absolutely dominated in the second and third periods of last night's game. They're up on shots right now, 5-2 in the period and 14-7 for the game. Here's Kramer, a shot. That was blocked up by a couple of Prowler sticks. Kramer back on net, and Sokolov with the save. Kramer had it poked away by McCardle. Nate Keeley behind the cage, uses the referee as a screen, sent it towards the middle of the ice, and Chartrand able to loft it out. Whalen quick up to the red line. That one tipped in. McCardle towards Schumacher. Couldn't get it out as Nate Keeley got it back deep. Evan Foley dropped for McCardle. Turning away from Butita. And he reverses to Schumacher. Up the wall, Scantleberry. Trying to find a clearing attempt. Knocked down by Kramer. They keep the puck alive. Kramer still on it. Tried to drag it through McCardle. Kramer still with the puck. A backhander just went wide. McCardle's lost his stick. He goes to pick it up. And Evan Foley goes up the near side wall to Scantleberry. Forced off the boards. Clay Keeley goes back the other direction. Cross corner dump right towards Keplinger, who's fresh off the bench. So's Alex Johnson. They get there together. Ford and Foley battling in the corner. Comes down towards Johnson. Curling away from Keplinger. Johnson rims it back in Scantleberry's direction. Couldn't touch it past Kennedy. He tried to walk the line. And the Thunderbirds play it back out. In their own end, it's Kennedy. Got to Keplinger. Rimmed around, Sokolov leaves it for Johnson. Trying to make a pass up to Dalton J. That will be icing against the Prowlers. And this tired group of Prowlers will get a quick break, but they'll have to stay out on the ice. Still no score here in period 2. You're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
Back at the Fairgrounds Arena, still searching for our first goal. 13:38 left in the Hungry Howie's second period. We want to thank again the Carolina Thunderbirds media team for the use of their camera. We appreciate all of their hospitality in all the times we've been here this year. Prowlers trying to work out of their own end. Keplinger lost his stick, and it's bounced up to Scantleberry. Finally, the Prowlers get a zone exit. Dalton J flying in. Dropped for Johnson. He took a hit from Baker, and Ford sent the puck around to Firth. Played it right into Dalton J. Steal by the Prowlers, but Connor Foley couldn't get it on net, and out comes Ford. Looking on Johnson, little toe drag. He's tripped up down to the ice, and Johnson to the penalty box. And Gus Ford draws a tripping penalty, and the third power play of the game for Carolina. Thunderbirds power play 1 for 5 in the series coming into this game. 0 for 2 so far tonight. And everyone's favorite player to hate in Winston-Salem, Alex Johnson, sitting in the penalty box and hearing it from the Carolina faithful. Big kill here for the Prowlers as Ford gets it to the line. Pastuca back to Baker. They play catch. Pastuca has it again. Looking for a shot. Floats it down low and hopped away from Keplinger. Batted up in Ford's direction. Ford walks in. He broke his stick on the shot. And Chartrand backhands it all the way down. Pastuca through center into the Prowlers zone, has to avoid the broken stick of Ford. And it's rimmed up by Carolina. Salak first on it, and he sends it back deep. Ford behind the net. Over to the corner and sent up high. Pastuca back down low to Ford. Pastuca again. Wrister stopped by Sokolov. The rebound up in the air and behind the net. Prowlers clearing attempt blocked down by Pastuca. He shoots. It's blocked by Evan Foley. Shot by Baker deflected and it wouldn't go. Keplinger tried a centering feed, cut off by DeCumbis. He just gets it out. Evan Foley's lost a skate blade, so he's getting help to the bench. Chartrand comes off on the ice. Meanwhile, Ford trying to dangle through, couldn't do it, and Chartrand gets it down. I was wondering why Evan Foley was having trouble standing up. He lost his skate blade on the block shot. 22 seconds left on the penalty to Alex Johnson. Pastuca turns away from a hit from Parsons. The puck stays there, and it's forced out to the neutral ice. Panacek recollects in his own end, watched by Chartrand. Johnson standing, set to come out of the box in 5. Panacek gets in to Schnapp. Poked off his stick. Schnapp forced back. He just fires it deep. Panacek out high, Clay Keeley. Bioni unloads the one-timer, blocked on the way through, and Schnapp couldn't pull the trigger on the rebound. Bioni fakes the drive. Rister didn't get all the way through, blocked by traffic. Lubert makes a move, gets out, on to Alex Johnson. He'll just send it deep. Prowlers get a change. Johnson was acting as a forward after he came out of the box. Now the Prowlers have 3 forwards back out there, a regular line. Schumacher up to Freeborn. Rink wide feed. Jay has to come back for it. Goes back across towards Freeborn, but the pass behind him. Freeborn sent it in towards Connor Foley. Now Jay flies in with a steal. Try to centering feed. Goes around to the far side. Kramer out of Panacek's reach. Got it to Nate Keeley. Lifting stick, sent it low to the net. And Sokolov kicked out that left pad. Connor Foley up with speed, has 2 in the series, and he tried to send it down low. Freeborn batted at it, and Karpinski able to seal off the post and keep that one from going in. We're past the midway point of the game. Still waiting for our first goal. We'll be right back. You're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network. .45 up on the clock in the Hungry Howie's second period. Prowlers and Thunderbirds still scoreless. Winner take all game 3. Face off to Cody Karpinski's right. Connor Foley and Gus Ford on it. They tie up there. Freeborn takes it. Centering feed towards Foley. He couldn't handle it cleanly. Out come the Thunderbirds. Ford over to Keplinger. Met by Lubert. Got it deep. Johnson taken in by Ford. Pops out to the middle of the ice. Farmer takes it. Gets to the slot. Slipped it down low. And stick to the corner by Sokolov. Up comes Lubert. 3 Thunderbirds back. Dom Lubert over to Freeborn. Delay penalty against Carolina. Federally slipped it just wide. Farmer touches up. We have a high sticking call being signaled by the referee. And Dawson Baker, the guilty party. Prowlers to their 3rd power play of the game. Baker wants an explanation. He's not happy. They'll close the door on him. And the door is open now for the Prowlers to take the lead and get the icebreaker. They send out the unit of Rancourt, Sim, Lockhart, Lubert, and Austin Federley. Rancourt and Schnapp to take this face-off to start the Prowlers' man advantage. It came to the middle of the ice, but they decided it was an unfair drop, so they'll try again. They'll have to hold the clock for 1 second. And they tried again, and once again they won't drop it, and looks like Rancourt is getting the boot from the draw. This time, now we're ready to go. Lubert Sent it down low. Sim got a touch on it. Karpinski kicked out the left flipper. Federley works his way out. He gives it over to Sim. Working up the left wing side in his playoff debut. Federley couldn't keep that one in at the line as it slipped between his skates. 30 seconds gone in the Prowlers power play. Sim, cross corner dump. After it is Lockhart. Tried to send it on net. It was blocked up by his stick. Lockhart picks it up on the other side, gives it to Sim. Behind the cage, out to Lubert. Centering feed, right court. Couldn't find the target. That puck was on edge as it came to him. And he tried to give it back to Federley at the line, but it was too far away from him. Keplinger giving Lubert some trouble. Lubert fights through it, and he fires his way up ice. Into offensive territory. Foley just sent that one wide. Prowlers captain with a good chance there. Connor Foley in front to Evan. And that one tipped past the post. Evan Foley out high. Freeborn walks in. He shoots up by Karpinski and dribbles just through the crease. And the Thunderbirds clear it to the line. Scantleberry down the wall. Evan Foley tried to feed it out high. That was cut off by Keplinger. Johnson kept the puck alive. 19 to go on the Prowlers power play. Scantleberry down to Connor Foley. Walks out, gives to Evan Foley. Behind the net. Gives it out, and swinging and missing was Liam Freeborn. Puck comes out to center, and the Prowlers power play unsuccessful again. Back in they come. Connor Foley had to dodge a hit. Here's Johnson. And he's leveled by Gus Ford. Freeborn steps out with it down low and tipped away. And here comes Keplinger. Working on Johnson. Trying to fight off a check. He fired it to the middle of the ice. Taken by Connor Foley. Here come the Prowlers back the other direction. It's Freeborn to the middle of the ice. He shot it just wide. Scantleberry a turnaround try. That one broke his stick. McCardle fresh off the bench from the outside. That produced a rebound. And here comes Schnapp. McCardle hustling him down. Schnapp stops up as he enters offensive territory. And McCardle first on the puck behind his own net. He'll settle things down. What action on that Prowlers power play almost a few times. The puck has hit the back of the net once in this game, but the whistle blew before. That was back in period one. Schumacher over to McCardle. Lofting that one out. Bioni collects in his own end, gives to Farmer. The Let's Go Thunderbirds chants coming down from the fairgrounds crowd. Farmer lead pass on to Kramer, right into Sokolov, and he tips it into his glove to get a whistle and a face-off. Shots in this period, 9 apiece. Prowlers got 2 on that man advantage. They'll take the face-off to Makar Sokolov's right. Looks like a late change being made here by the Prowlers. So they get Parsons out there and McCardle to the bench. Sim and Panacek on the face-off. It's dropped. Salak, a quick shot. Couldn't find the target. Kennedy down and around. Here's Panacek. Left it behind the net. Lubert gave it out. And skating into it is DeCumbus. Chips it around his man. DeCumbus to the net. Save made by Karpinski. Federley blocked up that pass. Firth Didn't get all he wanted on that dump. It still gets behind the Prowler net. Comes up to Federley. Left it there. Lubert skates into it. And now Salak back the other way. Below the goal line, turning on Tristan Sim. Salak still with it. Met by Lubert. And stapled to the glass. Salak able to pull it out of the pile. Still working in the corner. Salak still with the puck. Gets out in front. Tied up by a few Prowlers. And they don't let him get a shot on net. Jan Salak with a one-man show, but couldn't get a shot from it. That one off of Keplinger or somebody in the Thunderbirds bench. It looks like they say it hit someone on the bench. So we'll get another whistle and another break. And we'll be right back. You're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious. Hungry?
Howie's! Late stages, second period. No goals up on the board. They'll drop the puck at center ice after the last stoppage. It hit someone on the Thunderbirds bench, and the teams send out their units. The captain, Evan Foley, for the Prowlers. The leading scorer for the Thunderbirds, Gus Ford. And Carolina takes this face-off. Clay Keeley gets the red line. Gets the Prowler blue, but couldn't get any deeper. The Prowlers bat it out to center. Whalen waits for his team to get on sides before he dumps it around. Baker threw a hard hit onto Kumbis and it's sent towards the net. Sokolov made the save, and Chartrand trying to juggle a bouncing puck. Taken down to the ice. Prowlers were in a delayed offside situation, as Clay Keeley retreats into his own end and now starts up. Dumped right back in. McCardle left it for Frank Schumacher. Tried to make a pass up. Hit Baker. Schumacher again. This time to the middle of the ice. It gets out of the zone, but it's on the stick of Kennedy. Joe Kennedy works his way up. Chips it in, heads after it himself. He and McCardle get there together. McCardle puts him into the wall. Centering feed forward, turnaround shot off a leg. And Evan Foley off the boards. DeCumbis gets it out. Kennedy back up to Ford. Back to Joe Kennedy. Retreats into his own end. 2:44 left in period number 2. Kennedy over the Prowler blue line. Stops up, rims it around. Chartrand after it along with Butita. Pops up in the air, glove down by Nate Keeley. Kramer pulled it out, but that's a hand pass against Carolina, as Kramer the first one to touch it after Nate Keeley hit it with the glove. Good zone pressure from Carolina. Face-off just outside the Prowlers' end, right in front of the Thunderbirds bench. On the second opportunity, Nate Keeley able to get it back to Bioni. Lockhart rimmed around. Scantleberry took a swipe at it and got it out. Farmer Up to Bioni. Stepped up by Lockhart. Chasing after it is Rancourt. Farmer beats him there. And Farmer lofts it back out. And Lockhart, as the Prowlers get some possession time. Over to Parsons. That had his pass blocked by Butita. Lockhart back over to Parsons. He gave it right back. Elton J moves it along to Rancourt. Trying to muscle off Kramer. And it comes to Karpinski. He'll clamp the glove on top with a minute 37 left to go in the period. The Prowlers get the top line back out there. They'll face the check line. With the face-off to Karpinski's left. Prowlers finally able to get the puck down to Carolina's end. Thunderbirds with a couple of regroups on that last shift. And they just kept coming down into the Prowlers' end, but it couldn't get too much going. Prowlers can't get anything going off this face-off as Pastuca clears it out to center. Johnson puts it right back in. And now Kennedy. He'll skate with it. Chips it in, goes after it himself. He'll meet Johnson in the corner, who closes him off. To his side scrum in the near side corner. Johnson and Pastuca watching. Pastuca sent Johnson to the ice. And the Prowlers look to work the puck out. Freeborn regathers and gives to Federley. Final minute of play in period 2. Loubert and Clay Keeley wrestling with each other. Puck's on the half wall. Stuck up between Salak and Freeborn. Pastuca able to get it out. And Panacek forced back into his own end with 38. Kennedy waiting for his team to complete a change. In no hurry. Finally he sends a lead pass to 40. Shoots and couldn't find the target. Tecumseh lost it as he turned in the corner. Baker gets it down deep to Gus Ford. Comes out from behind the net, out high to Kennedy. Rister pushed back by Lockhart all the way down the ice. 9 seconds left in period 2. Kennedy will hold behind his own net. 40 minutes down. No goals. Great defensive efforts from both sides. Neither team to 20 shots yet in the game. The shots in that period, 10 apiece. So the Prowlers up 19-15 in shots on net. And both goaltenders have done what they've had to do. The offenses still searching for their first success. We'll see if they can find it in period 3. Coming up in this second intermission report, we'll chat about what a playoff game this has been. It's been exactly what you expect from the playoffs. Hard hitting, not too many penalties, and great defense. We'll also take a look at the other game going on in the FPHL. That is the Motor City Rockers and the Danbury Hat Tricks. And we'll see if that one has gone final by the time we get to it. We'll also get to much more coming up in the second intermission report. And it's all for you right here on the PHP Network as the Prowlers and Thunderbirds head to the locker rooms. And for one team, it could be the final time they go to the locker room between periods this season. Well, now is the perfect time to get your season tickets for 2025, the 10th season in Port Huron Prowlers history. As a season ticket holder, you get discounted tickets to every game, your own personal seat, a free season ticket holder hat, and much more. And if you lock in your seats by May 31st, you get bonus benefits, including an exclusive season ticket holder gold card, and you can get your favorite Prowler to deliver your tickets to your door. You can find more information at phprowlers.com/season-memberships, or you can email Amber at phprowlers.com. That's phprowlers.com/season-memberships or email Amber at phprowlers.com to join the Prowlers season ticket holder family. Inhale, exhale, maybe do a couple of breathing exercises. Relax yourself because we're about to get to the third period, and it will be a huge, interesting ending. There's no way to know which way this one's going to go, so stay tuned, keep it here on the PHP Network, and we will be right back.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession for your giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Seriously, not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. They're cleaning up the Chuck-a-Pucks here in Winston-Salem. None of the pucks have hit the back of the net, at least legally they say, at least between whistles. So we are still scoreless between the Prowlers and the Carolina Thunderbirds. Again, this is a decisive Game 3. The winner takes on Columbus in the semifinals. The loser heads home and begins a long off season. This has been a heck of a battle between the Prowlers and the Thunderbirds. Both teams have had their opportunities. The netminders have been very sharp, but there's also been plenty of tight defense. Physicality has been there, everything you want out of a playoff game, and this is what you get in games like that. You get low-scoring affairs, but that's exactly what the Prowlers have talked about all season. Matt Graham, Chris Paulin echoing that they built this team, and Alex Johnson as well, echoing that they built this team to win the low-scoring, tight games. Because that's how you win playoff hockey. You win those low-scoring, tight games. And, well, they find themselves in exactly that situation here right now. And we'll see if they can step up to the plate and finish this one off. They will have to find the back of the net once if they want to get the victory, at least once. Certainly a couple of goals would help. But we'll see if they can get there, as the Thunderbirds have played strong defense on their own end as well. Cody Karpinski has made 19 saves in between the pipes. Both teams have missed the target from good scoring areas at different points in this game. There are certainly a few chances, especially in the back half of that second period, where things started to open up a little bit more. It kind of started with that Prowlers power play off the Dawson Baker high sticking penalty. Things started to open up. Both teams got opportunities from the slot, just couldn't find the target. And when pucks hit the backboards, it's a good feeling for the goaltender, but for the shooter, it's tough, because you want to be the one to score the big goal for your team, especially in a game like this. Both teams battling with their backs against the wall, and they need this win because there is no tomorrow. The only thing promised to them, the next 20 minutes. So we'll see if we can find a goal in period number 3. These fans in Winston-Salem have been on edge. Prowlers and Thunderbirds fans alike. Of course, many more Thunderbirds fans than Prowlers fans here this evening, but still some Prowler pride in the stands. And we'll see if Port Huron can pull this one out and again try and flip the script. They've lost to Carolina each of the last 2 years in each of their last 3 playoff appearances. They were swept in those series, so they've already taken a step in the right direction with their Game 1 win on Friday, but still trying to end that 6-year series win drought and also get their first quarterfinals win in franchise history. A lot of history on the line here for the Prowlers, as we are just minutes away from period number 3. Anything can happen here in the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. We have already seen one overtime game in the playoffs, and that was Danbury and Motor City back in Game 1 on Friday in Danbury. The Rockers took that one. Prowlers, if it does get to overtime, they'd like to continue that result with a road team getting an overtime winner. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll check in on Game 3 between the Rockers and the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and we'll do it next right here on the PHP Network.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Let's go. They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it.
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Will Wiggleman back here again in Winston-Salem. Prowlers and Thunderbirds knotted up at, as they say in soccer, nil through 40 minutes of play, as Port Huron and Carolina both looking to end this series in the decisive game number 3. But before we continue talking about this opening 40 minutes, we'll take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard with the other decisive Game 3 that's going on right now. Time is ticking down at Big Boy Arena. It's a 3-1 lead for the Motor City Rockers. Danbury got one back from Billy Berry with the extra attacker. They pulled their netminder Connor McCullum with over 8 minutes left. Just under 9 minutes left in that game. They're down 3-0. They got one, and they've got an all kinds of shots, 25 shots on net in the third period alone for Danbury. For reference, that's more than either the two teams playing in this game have gotten in 40 minutes. 42 for the game for the hat tricks, but 41 saves for Trevor Babin, trying to give the Rockers their first playoff series win in franchise history. And again, they're just about a minute away from completing that goal. And we will keep you updated on that one. Winner of that game goes on to play the Binghamton Black Bears in the semifinals. We're back to this game. No score. 19-15 are the shots. The power plays are 0 for 5 combined. Prowlers got some good chances on their last man advantage, but unable to beat Cody Karpinski. Both of these netminders have been fantastic, and it's one of those games where you're not a fan of one side or the other. You look at it and you say it's a shame that one of these goaltenders will have to put a loss on their record after this one, because they have both played spectacular hockey in between the pipes, both Cody Karpinski and Makar Sokolov. As we get down to it, the final regulation intermission for one of these two teams. Could we see overtime? Of course, overtime is a full 5-on-5, 20 minutes. They'll do the full ice cut and all that fun stuff during the intermission. So it'll be just like another full period. We'll see if we get that far. Still 20 minutes to go, but if they're anything like the opening, maybe not the last 10 of that second period, but if they're anything like the opening 30 minutes of this game, then we may, just might, end up in overtime. And wouldn't that be fitting for these two teams who have played so tightly all season long? Carolina came out on the winning end of all 6 regular season games, but they were all tight matchups. Neither team was out of it. Prowlers were never out of those games, really, until the very end. 2 overtime games in the regular season as well, both of them in this building. So we'll see if we get our 3rd overtime game between these teams this year. But before we get to period 3, we'll take a look back at our PHP Network trivia question. And it is the only other winner-take-all game in Prowlers franchise history that was a winner-take-all Game 3. And it was back in 2016 against the Danville Dashers in the semifinals for the right to play for the Commissioner's Cup against the Danbury Titans. Prowlers won it 6-3 at McMorran Place. Dustin Skinner, the now head coach of the Mississippi Seawolves, had a natural hat trick to propel the Prowlers to victory. Again, 6-3 over the Danville Dashers, and those were Steve Harrison's Danville Dashers. He is, again, now the head coach of the Carolina Thunderbirds, although Harrison did pretty well for himself the following season, especially in those types of games, those winner-take-all games. He won a winner-take-all Game 3 over the Watertown Wolves on the road at home, at David S. Palmer Arena, 3-2 to get to the Commissioner's Cup final the following season. And then he beat the Berlin River Drivers 4-1 at home at David S. Palmer Arena to win the Commissioner's Cup for the Danville Dashers. Of course, Danville will likely be returning to the FPHL this season. So that is great news for fans in Illinois, as the Dashers have not been a part of the FPHL since the 2017-2018 season. And of course, that is the last time the Prowlers won a playoff series. So we'll see if the Prowlers can change that here tonight. 20 minutes left to go in regulation and maybe more. We'll see. Both teams on the ice. Makar Sokolov tucked under the crossbar. 2 hour left. 15 saves on 15 Thunderbird shots through the opening 40 minutes. Cody Karpinski returning to his goal crease. 2 hour right. He stopped 19 of 19 Prowlers shots. And the fans getting loud here. We're set for period 3. The final period of regulation in a decisive Game 3, winner take all. And we're underway. Prowlers get the first possession. It's Schumacher trying to fire it up. Here's DeCumbus to Evan Foley with a shot. That's gloved and held by Cody Karpinski 13 seconds in. That shot was going just a little bit wide, probably about a foot wide, but Karpinski reached out and gloved it down, froze play. Offensive zone face-off for the Prowlers. One back by the Thunderbirds. Kennedy to Baker, who tips it along. Evan Foley first on it. And Johnson goes D-to-D to Loubert. Try to turn it back towards Alex Johnson. Does get it there. Johnson up to DeCumbus. Slips it all the way through to Chartrand. He gets the red line. Gets it around. Took a funny hop off the stanchion. And Karpinski just able to keep it from going in the net. There comes Farmer. And those are the types of bounces you have to watch out for in a game like this. You know, in one of these games, it will likely be a weird bounce or a tough goal in tight. They're rarely pretty in the playoffs and in these low-scoring types of games. Pucks on net is the best way to get one here. Connor Foley rushing up with Freeborn into offensive territory, hands off. Freeborn dumps it around. Salak waits for it on the other side. It slipped through to Bioni. And now Pastuca works out. Fed up to Panacek. Steps over the line to the trailer. Clay Keeley shoots. And that one, I think Sokolov got a piece of before it goes off the back glass and out of play. Probably the best look for either side in this game belonged to Clay Keeley, and he couldn't get it to go. Defensive zone draw for the Prowlers now. Evan Foley's line right back out there. They tie up. Goes to the corner. Schnapp and Parsons wrestle each other for it. Schnapp centering feed. Taken by DeCumbus. Evan Foley up to Chartrand. At the red line, he chips it in. Nate Keeley and Evan Foley after it. Chartrand tried to take it in the corner. Instead, now it's Kennedy going around the other way behind the net. Schnapp lofts it out towards Kramer. Lockhart off the boards and out. Nate Keeley will send it back behind his own cage and leave it there for Kennedy. Thunderbirds getting a change as Joe Kennedy works his way up. Right in on Sokolov, and he knocks it down. Schumacher over to Scantleberry, rink wide feed, tracked down by Jay, but they say he knocked it down with a high stick. So the faceoff will be taken. The Thunderbirds want to say it will be deep in Prowler territory. Instead, they'll say at center ice. The clock still says 17:24 here. I don't know if it stopped for some reason. Nobody seems to notice. I don't think my clock continued to run for that long, but anyway, we'll continue play. Loubert couldn't find it behind the net. Now he does, and he rims it up. Farmer sends it down the wall. Johnson back out. Farmer wrists it in on Sokolov, gloves it, and leaves it for Loubert. Around the net he comes, weaving his way to center, and he gets to the red line and dumps it around. Austin Federley back around the cage. Freeborn tried to move it up to the point. That was taken by Keplinger. Now it's Clay Keeley. Wires it around. Ford looking for it on the other side. It came right back to Keeley. That one took a weird hop. Freeborn collects the loose puck. Gives it to Johnson. He leads the rush. 3 Thunderbirds back as Johnson couldn't make a move. Carolina on the counter. Kramer cross corner dump. Chartrand and Panacek after it. Chartrand wins that battle. Knocked down by Pastuca. Gives to Firth. And he dumps it back around. 4 minutes gone in period 3. They dig away on the half wall. To a side scrum, and finally it pops out to Johnson, who was watching it. Where is it? It disappeared under the Zamboni door again. That Zamboni door eats pucks here at the Fairgrounds Arena. And it just ate another one. .15:40 left in the third period. Men in stripes checking out the Zamboni door, trying to get the puck out, and now they have it. Faceoff staying in Prowler territory. It'll be to Sokolov's right. Thunderbirds making a late change, and they will send out Gus Ford, Josh Keplinger, and Roman Kramer. Keplinger will draw with Evan Foley. They tie up. Flips towards the net, and Schumacher tried to send a pass up to DeCumbus. That didn't work. Lockhart digging away with Kramer. Comes to Keplinger. He sidestepped the puck there, and another weird hop over by the door where Carolina comes out from their locker room. Keplinger dumps that one around. Took a hit from Evan Foley as he did so. Schumacher, lead pass, knocked down by Rancourt. Made a pass in. Thunderbirds trying to put it back out. Now Jay skates into it. He shoots. Saved by Karpinski. Rebound, and he couldn't get that one to go. I think it hopped over Dalton Jay's stick on the rebound chance. We stay scoreless. Bioni works in from the outside. Sent it down low. Butita and Parsons come together. Now Keplinger centering feed. Came all the way through the slot. And Jay chips it past his man. Dalton Jay trying to catch up to it. Clay Keeley beat him to the puck. Now Rancourt back in. But they'll say the Prowlers are offsides. Clay Keeley and Dalton Jay with good looks, but unable to untie the score. We'll take a break. You're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumbcoats professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
Scoreless still. Over 5 minutes into period 3. We just got an update. The Motor City Rockers have defeated the Danbury Hat-Tricks 4-1 in Game 3. We'll have a new champion this year in the FPHL. Rockers win their first playoff series in franchise history, and they'll take on the Binghamton Black Bears in round 2. And we want to welcome any Rockers fans who have changed the channel and tuned into our broadcast. Bioni tossing this one in. It's been a good game for anyone just joining us. Prowlers thought they had the first goal all the way back in period 1. They poked the puck in after it leaked through Karpinski, but the whistle blew before. So no goals still as Bioni fired that one wide. Schnapp and Parsons come together. Schnapp went down. Fans want a penalty. Referees disagree. A battle for it in the corner. Lockhart rims it up towards Freeborn, trying to loft it out. Connor Foley up to Federley. Sends Freeborn on his way, 1-on-2. Freeborn makes a move, curls back, lost an edge as he tried to center the puck. Loubert has to recollect and sauces a pass back across to Johnson. Johnson sends it in, and then he's given a rough ride by Schnapp. Loubert keeping it in. DeCumbus down around behind the net. Bioni sent Sharktran to the ice. Clay Keeley off the boards. And on for Salak. Thunderbirds winning the physical game on this shift, and it's energizing the crowd. And Pastuca and Evan Foley go to the ice. Whistles blow. Karpinski was heading to the bench. Pastuca is down. Makar Sokolov checking on him. And who's getting called? It's Alex Johnson. Elbowing the signal, and the Thunderbirds to the power play. No score in period 3. And this building ready to explode. You don't want to play with fire. Johnson disagrees with the call, but he'll sit for the second time tonight. Evan Foley and Gus Ford will take this face-off to begin another Thunderbirds man advantage. We already know the 5 out there for Carolina. It's the usual suspects. Pastuca gives back to Ford. Walks in, he shoots. Save made by Sokolov, he just got a piece. They dig away, and Federley. That's it all the way down. Prowlers change up most of their PK, and now they'll get all 4 fresh bodies on the ice. 30 seconds gone in the penalty. Pastuca rims it deep. Lubert after it. Keplinger beats him to the puck. Pops out to the middle of the ice. A lock. Had it knocked off his stick. Lubert up the boards and down ice. Karpinski quick up. Handed to Ford. And he finds Clay Keeley working his way in. Keeley fanned on the pass. Thunderbirds keep it deep. Baker taken in by Federley. They dump it around, took a weird hop. Salak stopped by Sokolov as he tried to catch him on the short side off the funny bounce. Keeley to Ford across to Baker. Wrister off a stick and out of play. I think Austin Federley was the one who got it. 45 seconds left in the penalty to Alex Johnson. 11:34 to go in period 3. 2 shots on net so far for the Thunderbirds on this power play. Chartrand and Ford on this face-off. It's tied up at the dot, and Chartrand from his knees able to get it all the way down on Karpinski. The pass comes over to the near side to Kramer. Ford still out there, but everyone else is different from who started the power plays. The puck hops over Clay Keeley's stick, and the Thunderbirds have to reset. It's Ford on for Butita. The captain shoots, glove save by Sokolov, snagging that one and hanging on for a whistle. 15 seconds left on the Birds power play in the longest 2 minutes of Alex Johnson's year. Evan Foley and Josh Keplinger on this face-off. False start, and we'll try again. This time it's one back to Ford. Walking in is Kennedy, shoots, couldn't find the target. Farmer slips down the wall. Final seconds ticking off the Thunderbirds power play. That's sent up to the point to Kennedy. Turnaround shot by Keplinger, stopped by Sokolov, and he'll hang on. And now a battle in front, Kramer and Federley involved. They'll be separated by lines. Excuse me, that's not Federley, that's Evan Foley. Well, I only saw the 9. Kramer to the box. I'm sure Evan Foley to follow. 4 shots. Or 3 shots, pardon me, on that man advantage for Carolina. 1 right after. will play 4-on-4. They actually have Dom Lubert in the box. Explanation being given to Matt Graham. Face-off deep in Prowler territory, so Lubert and Kramer, the two sitting in the penalty boxes. Who's ready for some 4-on-4 action? Each team scored at 4-on-4 last night, 18 seconds apart. Connor Foley and Peter Panacek to start off 4-on-4 with this face-off. They have Pastuca lined up right behind Panacek. And the linesman put the puck down, and now a conversation. Not sure what that was about. Maybe they were unsure of the face-off spot, but they had it right. Always good to double check, I guess, in these big matchups. Pastuca shot, save made by Sokolov. They got it right where they wanted it, and Sokolov shut the door. Panacek, a wrister blocked by Johnson. Freeborn takes possession and goes around the net. Reverse to Lockhart. Johnson works his way in. Stops up. Connor Foley played it all the way back. Lockhart and Panacek in a foot race for it. Lockhart wins that race and goes up the boards. Freeborn dancing his way in to the trailer. Johnson, he shoots, or he's trying to make a pass. McCardle a shot off of Karpinski's glove. Johnson was looking for Connor Foley on the backside, and McCardle couldn't get that one to go. Connor Foley tripped up away from the puck by Farmer, and they'll keep the arms down at this point in the game. Kennedy gives over to Farmer. Closed off by McCardle. Puck stuck between them in the corner. More help in there for the battle. It's pulled out by Schumacher. He gives to Dalton J. Back towards Schumacher. Couldn't handle the feed. And out come the Thunderbirds. Farmer almost lost his footing. He gives it to Ford. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Kennedy tried to return feed to Ford. Poked away by Dalton J. It's up to Scantleberry. Back to Schumacher. Scantleberry again. Gives across to McCardle. Prowlers very careful to not take a too many men on the ice penalty during that sequence. Lubert and Kramer about to step back out onto the ice as Schumacher's pass. His glove down. Back comes Nate Keeley. He curls. Takes the shot. Saved by Sokolov. Rebound Kramer. Slips through a check. Nate Keeley behind the net. Taken in by Lubert. Down to the ice. And out to the top, it's Firth. Wrister, they score! It's Josh Keplinger with a long-range wrister from the middle point, who finally opens the scoring. 1-0 Carolina, 8:21 left to go. And now the Prowlers need a miracle. Lots of traffic in front of Makar Sokolov. The 24th shot for Carolina and the 46th shot of the game. Finds the back of the net. And that no-goal call all the way back in the first period looming that much larger now. So the Thunderbirds have the lead. That pass deflects out of play. And we'll take a break. Carolina finally finds the first goal. And there's 8:15 left for the Prowlers to tie things up. You're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network. Josh Keplinger's third of the playoffs from Nate Keeley and Roman Kramer is the difference right now at 11:39 of period 3. Prowlers need an answer or else their season is over. Panacek, who had a late tying goal in Game 2 last season that led to a Dawson Baker overtime winner. Now Connor Foley over to Parsons. Headman feed looking for Federley. That one will go all the way down for an icing against Port Huron. 7:46 to go. A face-off down to Sokolov's right. Connor Foley taking it against Keplinger. One back to Bioni. Towards the middle of the ice, Baker couldn't bring that one in. And now it's Keplinger. Take it in hard by Lockhart. Ford couldn't move it up the wall. Clay Keeley did all he could just to keep that puck in. Parsons. Up to Federley. He dumps it in, but Connor Foley couldn't reach it. Fresh off the bench, it's Skettleberry. Tried to make a move. Puck comes up to Gus Ford. Working in, give it back to Keplinger, his shot off the glass and out of play, and then Skettleberry and Baker went in hard together, and Baker flopping like a fish on the ice. Skettleberry going to the box. I think Baker will go there as well. Baker not happy about it. And they give Baker an unsportsmanlike conduct. So instead of an Oscar, Dawson Baker gets a penalty. And it will stay even strength with 7:03 left in the third. Fans unhappy with the refereeing. But it is 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Second time that Skettleberry and Baker have sat in the box together. Connor Foley back out there with Federley, Johnson, and Freeborn. Keplinger, Ford, Kramer, and Farmer for Carolina. And they blow the whistle dead for a chat with the scorer's table. Further delaying this defensive zone faceoff for the Prowlers. Thunderbirds up on shots 10-3 in this third period. They have the only goal. It comes to Kennedy. Rimmed it right down the wall. Freeborn collects behind the net. Bounces it over to Johnson. Up to Freeborn. He lost the handle, and now it's Farmer. Up to Ford. Tosses it back in. Federley up to Freeborn again. Rink wide feed. Johnson collects it off the boards. He and Ford after it. Comes around to Farmer. Freeborn right in on him. And it pops out to Gus Ford. 3-on-2 for Carolina if they hurry. Connor Foley hustling back. Keplinger toe drag shot. Stopped by Sokolov with the goal stick. Farmer at the top. D to D. Clay Keeley fresh off the bench. Try to give it back across. Ford comes back for it. Ford saucers one across to Salak, who's coming off the bench. He's hit hard by Austin Federley, spun to the ice. And Freeborn plays it around the backboards. Federley with 48 to go in 4-on-4. Left it for McCardle. And now he hangs out. Waits for his team to complete a change. Chase McCardle up with speed. Here he comes. He couldn't get a shot off. He was tied up. They dig away. And it comes to Clay Keeley. Took the return feed. And he backhanded in. Jay works a counter. Into offensive territory. Evan Foley all the way across. Pastuca poked it away from Lubert. And then Lubert takes Yuri Pastuca into the boards. Back to 5-on-5. Pastuca sent it across to Salak, who looked like he was going off for a change. Salak again spins down to the ice. Gets it in right on Lubert's tape. Under 5 to go in regulation. The pass went off of Lubert's legs, but Prowlers able to chop it out. Schumacher around towards Lockhart. Rimmed all the way up. And Shartcharan threw a hit on his number 21 opposite Nate Keeley. Lockhart over to Schumacher. Kennedy back up to Nate Keeley, and it's played back deep. Thunderbirds clogging up the neutral zone, trying to protect a 1-goal lead. This one gets through. Rancourt to the backhand, he scores! Jeremy Rancourt, as he was being dragged down, slips it 5-hole, and the Prowlers have tied it up. First of the playoffs for the rookie out of Plymouth State, Jeremy Rancourt. 4:04 to go in period 3. Second point of these playoffs. He did play a couple of NCAA tournament games with Plymouth State before joining the Prowlers. Just like that, we are back to even. Fans chanting for Cody Karpinski, who's now made 22 saves on 23 shots. Federley gives to Liam Freeborn. 1-on-2. Freeborn had his shot blocked partially. Centering feed came all the way through. And Ford has it. Over to Bioni jumping in on the rush. He lost the handle. Ford collects. Gives it down low, and Sokolov closed off the post there. Keplinger recollects in the corner. Out high to Bioni. Faked the drive, gave to Farmer. And out to Pastuca fresh off the bench, but his shot rises into the protective netting. Jeremy Rancourt with the biggest goal of his career. Ties it up at 1. And with 3:17 to go, overtime is looming. You are watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious.
Hungry?
Howie's! 3:17 to go in a tie game. Prowlers have life again. Jeremy Rancourt has tied the score. And here we go. McCardle works it out to Chartrand. Tried to get it deep, couldn't do it as he was stood up by Farmer. Puck underneath Chartrand, pulled out, and Keplinger couldn't get it moving. Chartrand this time just pitchforks it in, lands below the goal line. Kennedy trying to turn away from Evan Foley. Comes to Farmer. Couldn't get it over to Keplinger. He's finally able to send it down the ice. Icing waved off, so Lubert has to play it. Chased down by Kramer. Lubert back on the puck. Couldn't send it around. Now it's Connor Foley up towards DeCumbus. Here he comes up the left wing side. Vinny DeCumbus chips it in and heads after it. Rimmed around, Johnson. Back deep. Farmer harassed by Connor Foley. And he gives it over to Kennedy. He'll try this side to get it out. Panacek lost it for a moment, gets it back. Up to Salak. Stood up by McCardle as he dumps it in. 2 minutes left in regulation. Federley, quick up to Freeborn. That one taken back by the Thunderbirds. It's Clay Keeley over to Bioni. Off the boards, Pestuka. Lost the handle, he gave it away to Connor Foley. Able to chip it by. Clay Keeley puts it right back out to neutral ice. Puck deep in Prowler territory. Schumacher behind his own net. On to Freeborn. Up towards Scantlebury. Prowlers wanted too many men on the ice call. They're not going to get it. Schumacher to McCardle. McCardle takes Butita into the wall. And it slips past Bioni at the point. Bioni steps behind his own cage as we hit the final minute of play in period 3 of game 3. And a tie game. Winner take all. Butita drive. Couldn't find the target. Farmer back on net. Blocked by Dalton Jay. Jay skates into it. Has Rancourt tried to give it to him. Farmer blocked it. Chipped back in by the Birds. Lubert moved it up. Farmer gets it back deep. Behind the net, Butita centering feed, glove down by Rancourt as it popped up in the air. Rancourt sidesteps the hit from Schnapp. Cross corner dump. And now Farmer with 15. Quick up to Butita. One last rush for Carolina here in regulation. Butita for Schnapp. He couldn't enter the zone clean. Schnapp this time dancing his way in, but they call offside at the line. 3 seconds up on the clock, separating us from overtime. This faceoff will be in the neutral zone. Outside Prowler territory, Ford and Chartrand to take it. It's tied up. And we go to overtime. In a decisive game 3, the next goal wins. And the player who scores it will send his team to Columbus. Josh Keplinger and Jeremy Rancourt. The third period goals, it's 1-1. And there's a hero in one of these two locker rooms. We'll find out who it is coming up shortly, but first, we'll take a break as they scrape the ice and get set for a full 20-minute 5-on-5 overtime. Coming up in the intermission, we'll relax. We'll remember some happy times. We'll take a look once again at the top plays from the 2023-24 season for the Prowlers. We'll also check the final score. We already mentioned it, but we'll go a little bit deeper into the box score of the final between the Motor City Rockers and the Danbury Hat Tricks. Inhale, exhale, maybe throw on some guided breathing in another tab on another YouTube channel, but do whatever you have to do to get yourself set for overtime, because that's where we're headed, Prowlers and Thunderbirds. And we will have it for you shortly. Well, now is a great time to get yourself some season tickets for the 10th anniversary season of the Port Huron Prowlers. As a season ticket holder, you can get discounted tickets to every game, your own personal seat, a free season ticket holder hat, and much more. If you lock in your seats by May 31st, you get bonus benefits, including an exclusive season ticket holder gold card and your favorite Prowler delivering your tickets right to your door. You can find more information at phprowlers.com/season-memberships, or you can email Amber at phprowlers.com. That's phprowlers.com/season-memberships to find us online, or you can email Amber at phprowlers.com to join the Prowlers season ticket family. 1-1. We head to overtime after this intermission, and we will be right back.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious.
Hungry
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
No, they're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Puck will die short of the icing line, so Gingrich forced to play it. Had his pocket pick, Chartrand to the backhand, he tucks it in! What a play by Dan Chartrand, picking Gingrich's pocket and then tucking it home around Rosenzweig, and the Prowlers have a 1-0 lead. Federley over the red line, over the rocker blue, doing it all himself, he scores! Austin Federley end-to-end power play goal ties this one up. Austin Federley just kept skating and had some more room, and he kept skating again. What a goal. And Federley wins it back clean. Jones to Johnson, jumping in deep and just hopped over his stick. Scantleberry winds down low, one more, score! Another beautiful feed from Austin Federley. This time it's Liam Freeborn on the receiving end. Power play goal puts the Prowlers up 3-2. Win back towards the cage, bounces out to the other side. Colton to the middle, Giuliano backhander. That one wouldn't go, what a save by Wallace! Giuliano made a move to the backhand, trying to get Wallace to slide all the way through. He put a shot on, but Ian Wallace reached out the glove. What a stop. Austin Weber turned it over. Now Picard sends Liam Freeborn on his way. Freeborn gets to the forehand, he scores! What an individual effort from Liam Freeborn. 1-on-1, and he wins the battle and puts the Prowlers up 1-0. But the two guys who lead the team in shorthanded goals, and here comes Barr, 2-on-0 with Lynn. Barr to Lynn, what a save by Sokolov, sliding across, he has it, and he'll hang on for a whistle, robbing the 2-on-0 as Connor Lynn was looking for it on the back post. Freeborn takes it back. Nice move. Still has the puck and he scores! What a goal by Liam Freeborn. Dipsy doodle through the defense, and he has the Prowlers on the board. Spintsov into offensive territory. Makes a move to the backhand, cuts to the net. Saved by Wallace. The rebound. What a stop by Ian Wallace on Brad Ryder. Pushing back to his right. He has a goal tonight. Can he put the Prowlers ahead in the shootout? Coming straight in on Bernard to the backhand. Oh, what a play! The Forsberg from Connor Foley. And the Prowlers strike first in the shootout. Are not Staples Rogers to the glass. Klink tried to work it out. Freeborn makes a nice move, gets it across. Federley, forehand, score! Second of the game for Austin Federley. What a move! And the Prowlers take the lead. Nice move by Liam Freeborn to get the puck and get in a position to even make a pass across. Then Austin Federley with all kinds of time. Forehand, backhand, forehand, and he tucks it around Eli Bowers. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. It is 1-1 between the Prowlers and the Thunderbirds through 3 periods of play. And we're headed to overtime. Next goal wins the series. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. And in case you're just joining us, welcome to the party. This was no score deep into period 3. Prowlers thought they opened the scoring in the first period. A shot from Liam Freeborn leaked through Cody Karpinski. It was poked home in the crease, but the referee didn't see the puck was loose, so he blew it dead quick, and they waved it off. No goal. So we played on from there, again scoreless deep into period 3. And over 11 and a half minutes into the third, Josh Keplinger makes it 1-0 on a shot from center point right on the blue line. But the Prowlers fought back. Jeremy Rancourt dropped the shoulder on the backhand, slipped one 5-hole on Cody Karpinski, and that's where we stand. 1-1 our score. Let's take a look at the other score for the other game 3 in the FPHL this evening. 4-1 the final for the Motor City Rockers as they defeat the Danbury Hat Tricks in game 3. Prowlers hoping some of that good energy comes to them as far as Michigan teams making it to the second round. But the Hat Tricks threw everything but the kitchen sink at Trevor Babin, but he stood tall, as Prowlers fans know that he can, in between the pipes, and he helped Motor City advance in the Commissioner's Cup playoffs for the very first time in franchise history. So this is the only series left in the first round. We look at the stats through 3 periods of regulation. 1-1 our score shots favoring Carolina 27-23. They outshot the Prowlers 12-4 in that third period. Both power plays 0 for 3. And I don't expect another penalty to be called, although we've certainly seen stranger things happen than a penalty in overtime. But the referees have let them play for the most part in this game. Referees stepping out onto the ice. Both teams ready to go. Nervous energy here at the Fairgrounds Arena as Makar Sokolov and Cody Karpinski lead their squads out onto the ice for overtime number 1. We'll see if one overtime is enough to solve it. We didn't get any goals for 2 of the 3 regulation periods, so it's certainly possible that one overtime won't be enough. Makar Sokolov in between the pipes, to our right, 26 saves on 27 Thunderbird shots in regulation. Meanwhile, Cody Karpinski in the goal crease to our left, 22 saves on 23 Prowlers shots. And at this point, throw out the stats. Throw out everything that happened in regulation. It's next goal wins. These are the team's records in 3-on-3 overtime. Thunderbirds won 5 of their 7 games that ended in overtime. Prowlers 4-5 in games that ended in overtime this season. But those were 3-on-3 and for 5 minutes. This is 5-on-5, and until someone scores, the first 20-minute overtime period is up on the clock. Gus Ford and Evan Foley set to start it off. Next goal goes to Columbus, and we're underway. Alex Johnson, quick up, deflected in by Shartrand, and comes back to Johnson again. This time he's able to get it around cleanly. A little bit too cleanly maybe, as it came all the way up for Keplinger. Shartrand chops it deep once more. There's Kennedy, rimmed up the wall. Keplinger there, tried to play it off the boards to Ford. And Gus Ford just does get that puck out. Prowlers reset with Johnson. Austin Federley back in. Over to Freeborn. Centering feed all the way across. Couldn't find a teammate. Remember, long change in overtime, just like the second period. So be careful. Teams have to be careful when they go off for their changes. Johnson chips it up to Federley. Kept it moving. Clay Keeley sent it right back into Austin Federley. This time he uses skates and fire a pass out to Freeborn. Tried to feed one across off a stick. Clay Keeley. Minute 15 gone in overtime. Up to Salak. Pushes through a hit from Jay. That hit somebody on the Thunderbirds bench. So we'll get our first whistle of the extra session. Faceoff will be just in front of the Carolina bench. Right outside of Prowlers territory. Port Huron's goal scorer, Jeremy Rancourt, to take this faceoff against Nate Keeley, who assisted on the Keplinger goal in the third. It's fired across to Scantleberry. Winds and shoots, stopped by Karpinski. And he hangs on. Scantleberry had a hat trick in game 2 last season in this building. Couldn't find the overtime winner there. He's lined up now right behind Rancourt. But the faceoff won by Nate Keeley to his twin brother Clay. He steps out from behind the net. Clay up to Justin Bioni. Drop for Butita from the outside. His shot gloved by Sokolov. Doesn't leave a rebound. Rancourt gives Nate Keeley a little bit of a shove. Crowd doesn't like that. And we'll get another face-off deep in Prowler territory. Each team with a shot in overtime. Dawson Baker out there on Gus Ford's line. Baker has ended the Prowler season in overtime each of the last 2 years. Those were in game 2s though. This is a game 3 as Kennedy's the first one to touch that puck. He knocked it down with a high stick. So we'll get a face-off and it will be deep in Thunderbirds territory. Prowler send out their top line. Connor Foley drawing with Keplinger. Foley won it to the wall. Kennedy tried to one-hand it out. Prowlers keep it alive. Here's Freeborn. Try to get it down to Federley. Puck bouncing around, and McCardle has to move back to center with it. McCardle chips it around, goes after it. Popped up in the air, Firth. Trying to handle the bouncing puck. Had some trouble with it, but he gets it to Dawson Baker. Fed across. It's Lubert tracking it down. McCardle off the boards. Stopped by Baker. Over to Kennedy. He gets in, and he's hammered by Lubert in the corner. Federley works his way back out. Over towards Connor Foley. Firth had some trouble with it in his skates. Pastuca able to rescue it. His pass out of Keplinger's reach, and that is icing against Carolina. So a face-off down in Thunderbird territory. And Evan Foley's line out to take it for the Prowlers. Most of the check line out there now for Carolina. Keplinger, though, the lone holdover, who was not able to get off for a change. Firth around towards Farmer. Chartrand puts him into the boards. Now a two-a-side scrum by the Zamboni door. Chartrand finds the puck. Towards the net, knocked down by Karpinski. He gathers it back in and covers up. Thunderbirds able to complete their change. Prowlers now have Rancourt out there. Scantleberry and Jay, his wingers. One back by Salak. Farmer taken in by Jay. Centering feed. Rancourt to the point. Lockhart, wrister, didn't get all the way through. Scantleberry first on it. Trying to muscle off Clay Keeley. He goes down to the ice, and Keeley comes out with the puck. Keeley fanned on a pass. It bounces to Pastuca. They say the play is onside, and Parsons takes the puck. Lofts it out. Bouncing towards Karpinski. Farmer plays it ahead of Rancourt. Farmer off the boards. Parsons keeps it alive. Comes over to the far side. Johnson, fresh off the bench, rims it around. Rancourt centering feed. Jayla backhanding at the post. That close for Dalton Jay. We continue in overtime. Johnson lost it to Butita, but his feed out of Pastuca's reach. Lubert backhand in on Karpinski. Salak met by Scantleberry, and Jan Salak got the better of that collision. Worked out high to Lubert. Rister was blocked down, and Kennedy skates into it. Tried to fire one out. Lubert kicks it to the corner. Butita first on it there. One-handed up to Kennedy. Soft dump down to Nate Keeley behind the net. Lubert gives him a couple of shoves. Schnapp in there as well, digging. Lubert. Rim to Freeborn. Lost it in his skates. Here's Schnapp with a shot. Saved by Sokolov. The rebound. Another one from Makar Sokolov. Prowlers work it out. Makar Sokolov with a couple of game savers. Back come the Thunderbirds. Schnapp to Nate Keeley. Closed off by Johnson. And now Federley with some skating room. He finds Chartrand. Drop for Federley. Wrister blockered by Cody Karpinski. Nate Keeley chased out by Chartrand. Gives it up to Kramer. He left it behind. And Evan Foley comes in for the puck. We played more than 5.5 minutes of overtime. Shots for 3 Prowlers. Work back in. Here's 40. Shoots. Shoulder save by Sokolov. And the puck out of play. 4 shots aside in nearly 6 minutes of overtime hockey. Week play on. After this break, you're watching the Commissioner's Cup playoffs on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
14:09 left to go in overtime. 1-1 our score. Face-off to Makar Sokolov's right. He's made a couple of big saves. Looking for another forward right into Sokolov. He makes a big stop there. And now Evan Foley out to replace Connor Foley for this face-off. He'll take it against Keplinger, who won the last one. This time it comes straight to the boards. tied up, and out comes Foley with Freeborn 2-on-2. Evan Foley's pass just slid away from Liam Freeborn. Keplinger takes it out from behind the net and starts a rush with Ford and Kramer. Cross corner dump, pops out right on Johnson's tape. Johnson pulls up. Kramer right in on him. Ford digging for it. Ford with it. Out high Keplinger. Wrister blocked by Federley. And Freeborn able to get it just out of the zone. Farmer puts it right back in. Pastuca charging off the bench. Evan Foley meets him there at the puck. Lockhart. Well, there's a couple of games of NCAA tournament experience under his belt. Now it's Evan Foley on the right wing side. Dumped it right in. Prowlers in the midst of a change. And up with speed is Farmer. Farmer tries to dance his way in. Long range try. Glove down by Makar Sokolov. Just under 7 minutes gone in overtime. Thunderbirds have had some good chances. Prowlers have hit a post. And another face-off in Makar Sokolov's end. It's tied up, pops up in the air, and Cumbus able to flag it down. Connor Foley over towards Shartrand, who chips it deep. Kennedy curling away from Foley. Couldn't get it through Cumbus. Panacek left it there for Tucker Firth. Firth steps out, over to Kennedy. Off the boards, comes over to McCardle, retreats, and finds Schumacher. Tipped along, Scantleberry at the red line. He'll jam it around. Karpinski out of his net to play it, up the glass. McCardle able to keep it in. Battling with Salak now. Panacek trying to pull it out. Pastuca starts the rush with Panacek. Back over to Pastuca, but his pass across right on Scantleberry's tape. Firth a shot, and he scores! Tucker Firth in sudden death overtime ends the Prowlers season, and the heartbreak in Carolina continues for the Prowlers. .756 into the first overtime of game number 3. And it's Tucker Firth, the hero this year, as Carolina celebrates a playoff series win over the Prowlers for the 3rd straight year and the 4th straight meeting in the playoffs. Each time the Prowlers fall to the Thunderbirds stings more than the last. They thought this was the year. This is the best team the Prowlers have had in a while. They got to game 3, but they fall on a goal by Tucker Firth, a shot from the blue line. And a devastated group of Prowlers will head home and search for answers. Thunderbirds move on to take on the Columbus River Dragons as the higher seed wins each of the quarterfinals matchups in the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. Please stay tuned for our post-game as we put a wrap on this season for the Prowlers. The toughest of endings that the Prowlers have endured for 3 straight years. Losing in overtime on the road to end their season. And that same pain being felt over and over and over again. It's heartbreaking, really. And this one felt different. They got game one. It felt different because it was them who got the late tying goal. It felt different in all those ways. And yet, as much as things change, they stay the same. And for some reason, somehow, some way, no matter what the Prowlers do, the Carolina Thunderbirds keep coming out on top. It's just such a tough way to lose year after year. They brought in some college players who filled huge roles in their lineup and became some of their top players. And yet, after all that, they still found themselves in overtime in Carolina, and they still end up going home empty-handed. Makar Sokolov, you see him there on your screen now, heading to the Prowlers bench. He was phenomenal tonight, 32 saves. He made 7 stops in the overtime. And questions still for the Prowlers. Before we get too deep, I want to give a ton of thank yous around to everybody, the entire Prowler organization, Matt Graham, Chris Paul, and Alex Johnson in the front office, who brought me in back for another year. And it was a heck of a year. They've given me unprecedented access. I think I have the best access of any broadcaster in this league. My desk is in the GM's office. I see and hear everything that goes on in the GM's office. Again, unprecedented access for me, and I really appreciate them trusting me with that kind of sensitive information day in and day out, week in and week out. I appreciate them for taking me on the road, because that doesn't happen at every team in this league. It should. It really, really should. Every single broadcaster in this league should be going on the road. But I told them as soon as I took this job, I said, if I'm not going on the road, I feel like I'll be doing half of the job, not the full job. They've taken me on the road every road trip. I'm grateful for that. To all the players, and of course the owner, Barry Soskin, as well, big thank yous. Barry brought me back for another year, helped me out to make sure I could come back for another year. I wouldn't be here without him as well. He stopped by for a couple of interviews throughout the season, and we appreciate him as well. So thank you to Barry Soskin, the Prowlers owner, sole owner of the Port Huron Prowlers. A big shout out to the staff over at McMorran Place, led by Rob Churchill, the box office staff as well, and everybody who works hard to put on Prowler game days there in that department. This team wouldn't be at McMorran Place without those people. So they are hugely important. The security staff there as well, the concessions workers, everyone who works at McMorran Place every game and every night. Thank you to Amber Graham, who runs the Prowlers team store and employs me on the side. That's a huge reason why I'm able to do what I do here. Sarah Dent, who is the in-game entertainer, sings the national anthem most nights. Austin Dunn, the public address announcer, David Dell, the official team photographer, all the off-ice officials who work so hard every single night to make sure every Prowlers game is as great as it can possibly be. Of course, I want to thank you, the fans, as well, everyone who I've gotten the opportunity to meet at McMorran Place throughout my last 2 years here. You've welcomed me in. I'm from New York. I don't think I'd ever entered the state of Michigan before I took this job 2 years ago. But you've welcomed me in like one of your own, and I appreciate you all for that. To the players' families who, and no offense to anyone else watching, the players' families are the most important people who watch these broadcasts. The guys on the ice who you all know and love would not be here without the support of their families. From age 5, maybe even age 3, when they first strap on skates, all the way here. They wouldn't be here without their families. I've gotten the pleasure of meeting a number of parents, families, and friends of the Port Huron Prowlers players throughout this season and last as well. And it always gives me a smile when they tell me they enjoy my broadcast, because again, it is really for them at the end of the day to see that all of their hard work and sacrifice is paid off, to see their son or nephew or brother or friend out there on the ice playing professional hockey and living out his childhood dream. And I'm lucky enough to get to sit up here in the booth and call it all and be the one that brings it to you all. It's a coveted job to sit here in the booth. It's not an easy one. It's not one I take lightly. I try to put on my best for everyone at home every single night that I'm on the air. You all have stuck with me through missteps, mispronounced names. Shout out Dominic Loubert, whose name I was corrected on by his future father-in-law a few weeks ago. It's those French names. I should have paid more attention in French in college. You stayed with me through technical difficulties as recently as Friday night. You stayed with me through it all, and I appreciate you all for it. And there's nothing more I can say than thank you to each and every one of you, whether you tuned in for a minute to check in on the score or you've been here for every single second of Prowlers hockey on the PHP network. Thank you to all of you. And I thanked all the players' parents. I want to thank my parents as well for saying okay when I said, oh, by the way, I've lived within an hour and a half of you for my entire life. That's as far as I went for college. But now I'm going to Michigan. See you later. They've supported me all the way through. They've come to McMorran Place. They've enjoyed the environment there. And they felt welcomed by you fans when they came, and they are constant tune-ins to these broadcasts, my favorite viewers, my parents. So thank you to them for everything that has gotten me to this point. But now we have to move into the off season, and one of uncertainty. Another season of the same spot for the Prowlers. Out in the quarterfinals, in overtime, in Winston-Salem. Thank you to everyone tuning in. And one final time, thank you to everyone who's made this broadcast a success. Kim's not here running the camera, but if we were at home games, I'd say for Kim running the camera are the best camera person in the entire league, and I can tell you that for sure because I've been around the league to a lot of different places, and there are places where the camera work is not too great or the camera doesn't even exist for the road team. But the fact that Kim does all of that for me, and then for whatever road broadcasters want to come in, big thank you to her. Our broadcast would not be the best in the league the way it is without her. So for everyone who's tuned in, helped me out, been on the air, and been a part of the broadcasts all season long, thanks for tuning in. I'm Will Wiggleman, and we will see you next year. And we hope to see you at the upcoming end of season party, which will be announced at some point for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Will Wiggleman, signing off one final time for the 2023-24 season.